Hey guys! Wow, long time no vlog, or at least it feels kind of like a long time. Today is April 24th, 2015, so it's time to vlog. My vlogging has been slacking, and I'm sorry, and I'm back. But today, we're going to talk a little bit about posing practice, and just posing in general. So, I've been getting a couple questions about posing, what goes into it, blah 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 blah. So I wanted to do a vlog on it. It's kind of a public service announcement before I start. There will be some posing footage in here of me. So if you're gonna make any negative comments, or if you're gonna say anything mean, anything like that, then you're gonna be deleted and blocked and all that stuff. I want to keep this a positive environment for everyone, including myself. So yeah, positive vibes only would be appreciated. But that being said, if you have any more questions afterward about posing or suits or whatever, then I'm more than happy to answer them. So here we go. Alright, so tip number one for posing is obviously practice. You want to practice as much as you can. I practice literally every single day. I have my mirror set up in my room or in my mom's bathroom where she has a big mirror with some good lights. And I practice in my suit and my heels every single day, and I go to posing class, which is a couple hours long, every single week. So what you need to practice is, first of all, we'll talk shoes a little bit. These are my actual competition heels. They are Ellie shoes, Brooke. I got mine on Amazon. They're a little bit cheaper to get them that way than buying straight from the site. I think I got these for like $35. But I use the ones with the straps on them. Everybody has a different preference, but I've noticed with a lot of new people, especially if you get the ones without the straps, your foot is literally just in this thing, so you clomp a lot. So when you're walking on stage, and that's super annoying. And if your shoe falls off, you're screwed. So I like the ones with the strap and the buckle. I'll also do my posing practice sometimes just in regular heels. If I don't feel like throwing my shoes on, that's what I'll be doing this in today. You also want to do your practicing as much as you can in an actual bikini, in either your competition suit, your practice suit if you have one, or in a cut similar to a competition suit, or if you don't have any of those, then just a regular swimsuit or some compression shorts and a sports bra. I'll show you my practice suit. I get my suits from Lydia Gurley. She is fantastic. I'll put her contact info in the description. But these are the bottoms. And the reason you need to practice in competition bikinis or something very close to it is because, as you can see, there's not a whole lot to these, and you need to get used to that feeling because it's an awkward feeling when you first do it. There's a nice breeze in places you're not used to having breezes, and you gotta get used to it. That's just, if you don't practice in your competition suit or something close to it, when you get up on stage, you're gonna be like, oh my god, my butt is out everywhere. And that's just kind of how it is. So these are the bottoms. This is the top. It looks more just like a regular bikini with some nice sparkles on it. I've found, before I actually had my competition suit or my practice suit, Victoria's Secret makes some really great bikini bottoms that are kind of similar to a competition cut. They still have them on their website, or when they've started selling their swim stuff in stores. So if you can find the Victoria's Secret Itsy bottoms before you get your comp suit, those are also really similar. Or you could just contact Lydia and have her make you a practice suit because she's phenomenal. You just need to be comfortable with what you're going to be doing on stage, and part of that is what you're wearing. So I guess I'll talk about that a little bit. Part of the reason you need to practice posing is because regardless of how many times you've competed, the chances are you're going to get a little bit nervous when you're about to go on stage, or a lot nervous, especially if you're not used to being on stage. I grew up dancing my whole life, so I was used to being on stage before I ever competed, but a lot of people aren't that way. So when you get nervous, you will be physically shaky. So if you're not comfortable with your posing routine and your arms are shaking and your legs are wobbling when you're on stage, you're going to have a bad time if you don't feel comfortable with your posing routine. I've literally seen people fall and break ankles at shows because they're nervous, or they stumble, or they trip, or they're not used to their routine, and it goes bad for them, and that's why you need to practice. And that's kind of what ties into having competition attire when you practice your posing, is you need to get used to the feeling you're going to feel on stage. If you can simulate what you're going to be doing on stage on a regular basis before you actually get on stage, it'll feel much more natural when you're up there. People often have the tendency to rush their posing routines because they get nervous. If you're used to practicing your posing routine, you'll be a little bit less likely to rush it or to stumble or to forget things or something like that. You'll feel a lot more comfortable on stage if you practice, obviously. And like I mentioned before, I go to weekly posing classes. If you can find a good posing coach in your area, this will be a huge asset to you. Before I came into contact with my posing coach, Monty, I would just watch videos online. And this was a great starting point, but the problem with that is when you're watching videos of people posing online, they don't have the same anthropometrics that you do. That meaning they don't have the same build as you do. They don't have the same ratios as you do. They don't have the same body as you do. It's a fact. If you have a good posing coach, and my posing coach is excellent, he's an NPC judge, so he knows what they're looking for. If you have a good posing coach, they will help you to pose your body the way your body needs to be posed in order to make it look the best. You spend months and months and months working on building a fantastic rig, but if you don't know how to present it, you're gonna place poorly, and that's just how it goes. Someone with a good body but great posing will most likely do better than someone with a great body but sloppy posing, poor posing, lack of confidence in their posing, etc. So yeah, also with posing class, another one of my things that I'm really big on with that is the community environment. So you're around other girls and guys that are doing the same thing, sharing the same goals, sharing the same struggles. So it's just, posing class is my favorite time of the week because I get to be with my friends, we get to talk, we get to hang out, and we get to just be around each other, and it's a positive environment to be in, surrounding yourself with people that are positive and uplifting and who have similar goals. Ooh, a moth just landed on my window. Okay. So number 2, if you're posing at home, I suggest using natural light. So I know we all have our favorite selfie spots because the shadows are great and it makes us look swoller and jackeder and tanner and do I even grammar? But makes us look better. But when it comes to posing, I definitely recommend using natural light. So in front of a window would be great, for example, because when you have natural light coming in, you don't get the benefits of those super awesome shadows that make you look great. The lighting's going to be a little bit softer, so it's a little bit more realistic and just better for getting a good clear picture of what you actually look like. So yeah, natural light. Also somewhere where you can set up your phone or your camera or whatever to record is another great thing, because I like to record a lot of my posing videos, as you'll see later. 1, so that I can track progress as I go along, and 2, so that I can pick out the nuances in my routine that need worked on. Alright, number 3, tanning mousse. There it is. Alright, so this is completely optional, but as you all, or many of you know, when you go on stage, you are extremely, extremely tan. And the reason for that is not to walk around looking like an Oompa Loompa, but to help bring out muscle definition. If you've ever been under stage lights, the lights are extremely bright and they will wash you out. So you get a tan to help bring out muscle definition and keep you from looking washed out on stage. A similar principle can be applied to posing practice. You don't need the level of darkness that you'll be on stage, but it helps to have a little bit of color, just because if you're pale, there's nothing wrong with being pale. Obviously, I'm pretty pale. If you're pale, it's hard to see muscle definition, which can be discouraging. You're like, wow, do I even lift / do I even cardio? Like, what am I doing? So it can help be a little bit of a confidence booster to help you see some of your definition in your muscle, but also just brings out what you've been working on. So actually the night before, and the reason I'm doing this today is because Fridays are my check-in day with my coaches, so I have to do posing anyway. But the night before my check-ins, I use some self-tanning mousse, and this one is really great. Dancing with the Stars Perfection Self-Tanning Mousse. I don't know what shade this is, but I'm actually wearing it right now. As you can see, I'm not like super orange, but I've got a little bit of color. I put that on last night, and it really helps bring out, better definition. And it doesn't smell terrible. You can get a little tanning glove from Sephora or something, but I'm bad and I just use my hands, and they look kind of gross right now, but I don't really care because I just don't care. So I put that on the night before. And yeah, so it helps bring out a little color. I just don't want to go to a tanning bed just because I'm scared of tanning beds. I used to go to them a lot, but I just don't really like them now. Okay, so tip number 4. I always like posing to music, sassy music in particular. I really like the burlesque soundtrack, and actually, fun fact, on the way to every single show, I watch burlesque to kind of like channel my inner diva. But yeah, burlesque soundtrack, Beyonce, Pussycat Dolls, anything like that. Music that makes you feel good, makes you feel happy, and makes you feel sassy, because you need to be able to channel your confidence, and sometimes you need a little music to do that, and it's just fun listening to music while you do it. So yeah, I like posing to music. They will play music on stage, but from my experience, it's normally, especially at prejudging, it's normally pretty quiet, pretty boring music, so it's nothing that's gonna like hype you up or anything like that in most cases, or at least from the shows that I've been to. At finals, they normally play a little bit louder, a little bit more, I guess, pop, current music. But yeah, and that way, kind of when you're on stage, like, channel your inner Beyonce. Like, you can think of a song in your head and have that to pose to. It helps give you rhythm, but more than anything, helps give you confidence. That's a big thing with anything with posing. And last but not least, this isn't necessarily like posing related, but I get a lot of questions about this, and it makes me laugh every single time. So if there's any guys watching this, you can just tune out now because this won't apply to you. But let's talk boobs. Everybody loves boobs. Kind of. I don't know. Does everybody love boobs? I don't know. I've gotten asked, and it's super funny. One time I got asked if I had fake boobs, and I'm like, I don't know. I have poverty boobs. Meaning I don't have big boobs at all. Maybe one day. But, so with your boobs, again, my boobs come from my suit. So something that's helped me is going with somewhat smaller padding. If you have a large pad on your suit, then, or not padding, a large triangle. The larger the triangle, it's gonna, like, you can't get the side boob action, which they kind of like. But for me, I have to use a ton of padding. So here's what's in my suit that gives me boobs. Also watch the Jenna Marbles booby tricks video just for competition or for everyday life, because it's on point. Anyway, so this is one of the types of, I have 2 types of padding in my suit. This one is the one that goes on the outermost portion closest to the actual triangle of my suit. This is just a typical foam, I think, push-up padding. You can see it's got like a little push-up insert in there. But then I also have one of these little like chicken cutlet things that goes in there. And I just layer those 2 together and stick them inside my suit. I also try and tie my suit as tight as I can so that it squishes everything, and I literally like bend over and yank them out. Like, I'm not going to show you right. Hi, buddy! Do you want boobs too? You came because you heard we were talking about boobs. Yeah. But yeah, I literally tie it as tight as I can, yank my boobs out, and just hope for the best. You can also use socks. I know a lot of people that do that, but yeah. Watch the Jenna Marbles booby tricks video. So now I filmed some posing footage earlier, and I'm going to try and include that in here. So that's what we'll move to now. Okay, but... Alright, so first let's just start with the full posing routine. Start with the front pose. This front pose helps to minimize my quads and bring up my waist, like I talked about before. And then we transition to the back, always making sure transitions are graceful and choreographed. Then hitting the rear pose. With this, it's really important to make sure you're sticking your butt out and not rocking your hips forward, or your butt will look squishy. And second front pose. And then you acknowledge the judges, or do a little wave, and you walk back to your sidelines. And so here I'm practicing sideline poses. It's basically just transitioning between different front poses, always making sure that you're remaining tight, smile on your face, graceful, all that good stuff, because you're always, always, always being watched, and always make sure that your number is visible to the judges, even if you have to turn your body in order to do so. Alright, and then next up, more rear pose practicing. It comes down to minor details. Whether your toes are pointed out or in, it'll make your quad sweep look different, also make your hamstrings and glutes look different, so that's just something you'll have to play with. And more front posing, yay!
Alright, so sometimes they'll do this thing where they say, ladies, walk towards the curtain. And that's what you see here. When they're saying walk towards the curtain, they're basically trying to see whose butt shakes less. So when you're walking towards the curtain, make sure your butt is out, take small steps, and do not step on your heels, otherwise it'll probably make your butt shake. And then you'll pose to the front again after you do the back, and then they'll say, ladies, walk towards the judges. And you walk towards the judges. And you pose again, always smiling, even in your ratchet little glasses. And we'll just go through it one more time. Oh, gotta fix my hair. Yes, I choreographed the hair flip. So hit your front pose. I also hiss a lot to exhale and let out air. It helps flatten everything out. There's no problem with hissing on stage. Just don't make it super loud. I just breathe in and blow it out. It helps to kind of vacuum everything out. And there you have it. Posing routine practice. Yay.
Alright, and that has been our posing tips video. I hope it's been somewhat helpful. If you guys have any other questions about posing or competition or anything like that, I'm more than happy to answer your questions, so leave me a comment and I will talk with you guys later. Alright, as always, thanks for watching. You guys are wonderful. Have a good weekend. Bye.